Welcome back to the TPO Go podcast. Today we are joined by Annette Strumolo, Vice President of Project Reviews with TPO Go. She brings a ton of mortgage experience, and today we're going to be talking about condo and co-op approvals. Annette, thanks for jumping on. I've got a bunch of questions to go through with you, so I can jump right into the questions unless you have anything you want to share.
No, I'm just glad to be here. And what we're trying to do is just streamline the process so that we can close loans quicker, because we can't close a loan if we don't have an approved project review, especially in the current markets that we're in. So we want to get ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. And so what's the best way for a broker to submit a project for you to review?
They can do that. They can submit in one of two ways. We have a dedicated inbox called Project Review at tpo.com, or we have a link where they can submit a basic 30-second fill-in form, and they can attach their documents right through that link, which is all trackable. So that would be the preferred way. But either way, we're looking out, in both the inbox and that link that gets submitted.
Perfect. And they can do that before they have a loan in process, right?
That is correct. We would actually think that that's the best way to go if you can, because the question mark is the project eligible? And we'll ask for basic documents, not, the kitchen sink and everything else, just to get a feel for that pre-review to see if there's any, major roadblocks.
Perfect. And so with that, what is the minimum documentation needed to review for eligibility?
So depending on the project type, let's assume it's a full review, we will ask for a questionnaire. We use the 1076 for condos, and then we have a co-op questionnaire that we can put out in the portal for anybody to grab. And both require master insurance policy and the budget. Anything else after that is just, noise, because if it doesn't pass the basic criteria for what you're looking to do, then there's no point in asking for the financials and all of those painful documents like bylaws and declarations.
Perfect. So you just need minimal documentation up front. You'll review it and then condition out for what else would be needed to actually approve that.
That's correct.
Project. Perfect. And so what exactly are you looking at in the questionnaire, in the insurance, in the budget? What are we really looking at?
Well, let's take the condo questionnaire, since there's quite a few of them. We want to see if the project is established or new, what the occupancy count is there commercial influence, is there a concentration of single entity owners, like one owner that owns multiple units, and is the insurance sound? So the master insurance is pretty important. You have to have certain types of coverages and special coverages that Fannie and Freddie look to get. So if you don't have that, if it's just a basic policy, we will go ahead and condition out exactly for what we think that master insurance needs are. As far as the budget is concerned, the main thing is that there's a line item reserve, a line item dollar amount for reserves. If it's not separate, and it has to be 10% of the HOA income that they receive. So if it's, $1,000, 10% of that, and that's your basic. And we don't need to have special, we can omit certain types of income if they're not really germane to the production and operation of the project itself. So they're looking for the base income. The other thing is that we want to make sure that the budget will cover its expenses and that we don't have any negative cash flow. If there's generally a negative cash flow greater than 5% of the income, then we'll probably have a problem with that. And is there any litigation ongoing? Finally, they'll look for any major repairs that are currently underway, and special assessments.
Perfect. And then are there common things that you're seeing when reviewing that's jumping out at you? Is there anything that you're seeing that's kind of seems like a trend? You're seeing it more and more often?
They're underinsured, or they don't have that line item budget for line item for the reserves in the budget.
Perfect. And so it's great to catch that up front prior to submitting a loan in, so we know what we're looking for when we are looking to really get that condo approved.
Right. So we try to look at everything, but we try to look at everything all at once, and that questionnaire tells a lot. It really does tell the whole story, regardless if you have anything else.
Perfect. And then jumping over to co-ops for a minute. On co-op approvals, is it similar to a condo approval? Is it a little bit more in depth? What does that look like?
It is, they do put co-ops under more of a microscope. 100% of the co-ops are going to be a full review, and they really want to scrutinize the financials. If you don't have audited financials, they're going to be looking for the most recent tax returns. They don't take unaudited P&Ls or, letters saying, our financial strength is good. They actually want to look at the cash flow and the income and expenses in order to determine the viability of the project. We've noticed that there are many co-ops that we've encountered that are in need of repair, and they currently have special assessments for that. Just so you know, they want to have those repairs completed before we can close on the loan. They won't close a loan while it's improvement, if they're in the middle of doing home improvements. If the co-op is a ground rent, they will not, that'll be an automatic denial. They have to own the land underneath it. And then we also look at the underlying mortgage to see when it's due and what the terms are. Between the co-op and the condos, we do full reviews, we'll do limited reviews, again, getting ahead of the curve and being upfront so that we can make sure that we're addressing any issues that come up before we get to the closing.
Absolutely. And so we get that condo approved, you review the documents up front, everything looks great. That appraisal comes in. What are we looking for on the appraisal? Is there anything we're looking for on the appraisal since we've already approved the condo, or do we need that appraisal to really be able to approve it?
You have to have the appraisal. So when it's a full review, we will be looking for the bylaws and the declarations and the appraisal to follow. So this is just the initial review is really just a overview of, what we're looking at. So most of the time, everything looks pretty good. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of real issues, but again, I will condition for it and I'll say the appraisal, bylaws, declarations are required to do that. If we're looking, what we really want to see in the appraisal, that everything matches. The project name matches, the number of units match, the occupancy count matches, the dues and any special assessments. And if there are repairs that are listed on the appraisal, but they're not on the questionnaire, we have to address those repairs.
Right. So in a perfect world, steps to success to get a condo approved quickly, you say upload everything up front before even submitting that loan over. And then as we work that loan through the process, just make sure that appraisal gets ordered early. So if there is any discrepancies, they can fix the appraisal or fix the questionnaire to get that condo approved.
Correct.
Perfect. And then what do you see as the benefit of bringing this co-op and condo approval process in-house? Does it give us more flexibility to review documents quicker? Is it going to expedite the process, or is it just going to bring you a lot more emails?
Well, we always love emails, that's for sure, because that's what we live by. However, the projects, you're just going to know exactly what the roadmap is in how to complete the project, how to make sure it's eligible, and that we have no problems just prior to closing. It does speed up the process. There's no, that's the main goal. And also, if we see problems right away, we're going to tell you right away. And also provide recommendations. So not every project's going to be perfect, but if we see something that needs to be addressed and it's difficult to address that, that issue. Like, for example, somebody might want to put 5% down on a project, which is, a full review, and we see that they might have additional assets, in a pre-review, hopefully. Then we ask them, maybe you can just put 5% more down on a 90 LTV on an established project, and you're good to go. You don't have to go through all of the anxiety of a full review, because then it becomes a limited review.
Perfect. And so you're covering project reviews, both limiteds and full reviews for conforming products, and then co-op reviews for conforming. Single unit approvals are staying with the underwriter, or are you taking over single unit approvals as well?
I haven't talked about single unit approvals and you're talking FHA, right? Yeah, so
Correct.
that's probably going to stay with the underwriter, because it's just a little more continuity for that. And I will do the limited reviews because, again, the master insurance is very important to look at that up front. And all you really need for that is the questionnaire and the master insurance. And then we have to make sure that we have the proper occupancy and it's eligible for limited review. We do have a procedure manual that we can share. We have also what makes a limited review. We have a checklist for that, just in case our brokers are unsure of what constitutes limited versus full review. So, we're here to help make that happen so that they understand before they even turn in the file that they know where they're headed. They have the direction, in terms of project approval.
Absolutely. And all those resources are posted in the resource library for our brokers to see. So they can go in there, they can pull anything condo related, whether it's steps to success, it's our questionnaire, or it's even just the procedure. So they know what to expect throughout the process. Um, Other than that, I mean, condos are a great product. We do a lot of condos. And just a reminder, you can do renovations on condos and co-ops. So keep that in mind. It doesn't deter you from doing a renovation. And that will still approve the condo. Our renovation team will still do the renovation portion, and we're able to close those loans fairly quickly. So condos are a great product, and that's a great resource. And thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.